social beings that hang out in generally safe places in the home. I'm going to start with my little Derwent HB, la 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 la, and we're just going to try to do a basic design for a Grapple. I'm kind of stuck on these things. I've been doing them for years, and I finally figured out what I want to do with them. So let's start with a Grapple. Show you guys what I'm looking at. So my center line for, well, the center. I have my eye line right across. The nose is pretty close too. I'll just make a little triangle for that for now. And then the mouth's kind of like really fun because I get to go 1, 2, 3. And that's our little Grapple mouth. Now, I don't know, open or closed. I think open. I want one excited. I did a couple digitally with my on Procreate last weekend, which I posted up on my Insta. What I did was I worked them into some photographs, some still life photographs that I had taken. Okay, the eyes. The eyes are what really makes up this particular character. So each one of these has to have something, slightly different about them. They either have different color, their eyes are different, their eyes are in a different place, maybe they're closer together, further apart. But for the most part, I like them to be very bright-eyed. And in this case, looking straight out at us. Because he's friendly. So we'll get a nice friendly view of him. And just like any little critter, he's probably got a little bridge to that going on there. And really fluffy, kind of backwards eyebrows. Woohoo! Alright, so now I'm going to add in 2 key features for Grapples. One is the ears, and the ears are kind of off the head, and they're fuzzy at the ends, and then they come back. It's kind of like a cat's ear, sort of, or a squirrel's ear. I just realized that this isn't capturing the entire page. Let's go out a little bit. Much better. Much, much better. And so we're going to go here and bring that Grapple ear. Okay, now some of them have, of course, everything has a different sort of way about it. So this particular guy has like almost like bat ear looking things. The one thing they all have, which is kind of fun, is they all have some sort of horns. And again, they're all different with their horns. So as soon as I finish this nose detail. There we go. Okay, so the horns usually come out somewhere right above the ear. I think today we're going to have to do some kind of like horns that are sort of like oaken. They look almost like a tree branch, or perhaps even a deer. Let's see if I can get the 2 of them somewhat the same. There we go. Pull that down there. I just realized I didn't really advertise that I was going to go on right now. But you know what? That's okay. I just a new toy in eraser pencils. Wait, I'm gonna hold off on those today, I think, because this guy doesn't need all that stuff right now. Erase this a little bit. This is my electric eraser. I don't want to use it electric right now. This eye looks a little too closed for me. It's not quite bright out enough. There we go. Same with this one. Yay, there we are. Okay. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to start with some detailed stuff. And when I get to the detailed stuff with this particular character, that's the one thing that I've decided I'm going to do at this point is, like, I like making very graphic looking characters sometimes, but in this case, you know, I'm kind of feeling the detail in these guys. I really want to see a lot of really cool, like, things about them. Give them a little bit of extra character. Oh yeah, and they all have kind of like really weird stubby teeth. They're almost like canines, but they're a little stubbier than that. Some of them even have one or two that might be a little bit place weird. Frankly, I think it's cute. They may not think it's cute, but I think it's cute. Nothing odd with the tongue. I think that would be normal. Definitely want to enhance that animal look by putting a bottom lip in there. And let's see. What else can we do? Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Okay, some nose detail in here. So this is where I'm kind of like hashing out where I'm going to go ahead and put some of the detail expression marks. There we are. You're in the wrong spot. That's okay. We'll get to you. I think I need some mood music. Just because we've got the tufts down the bottom, we're going to do a little tuft up here too. There we go. There's our grapple. So that's the contour of a grapple. But the thing about grapples is that they like to hang out, literally, in like containers and stuff. They have this thing for cups and cans and whatnot. and they tend to hang out with their arms kind of out. Just kind of like, hanging out there. When I first imagined these, I imagined them sticking out of people's pockets, and I thought that might be a little bit kind of weird now. So I backed off, and now we're just going for cans and bottles and whatever. First one I ever named, I named a Grupple. I named him Grupple. It's kind of the sound that you were making to me when I was drawing him. I never did get that new music running down. Here we go. That's not really the mood I'm looking for. I love Within Temptation, but probably not for this particular job that I'm working on right now. So let's get into that music file and do something a little bit more peppy. Let's do peppy. I like peppy. What do we got, guys? What's peppy? Is it bad that all of my music is kind of like slow? Oh, you know what? I was just watching this. I think I wanna hear the soundtrack to Secret of Kells. Oh my god, yes. Love the Secret of Kells. While I'm drawing with the right hand, my left hand is going to invite some people to come and see us, or me, as I'm drawing. Looks like I might need two hands. Well, that's not going to work, so I'm going to spend all this time getting that over there, and I'm not going to do my drawing. Slash painting. I think we're going to work with some painting this guy. Use some paint marker work. I don't really like how this one's jointed. That just looks totally uncomfortable for a little dude. That's much better. And I originally had given them like little claws, and it's still out of place. I don't kind of like the claws anymore, so I'm not going to do grapple claws. We're just going to keep them all little cute little paws coming off. Just so. I don't know what kind of can he's in, but it's going to be fun. Determining that would be interesting. Let's go. Some sort of can label. I need to fade out bottom over there. I'm going to play with some watercolor. So since I'm going to play with watercolor, I want to get some of these pencil outlines out of the way because they're going to just goof up the whole business we're dealing with. I'm using watercolor markers today. I like using the watercolor markers because they're a little bit more vibrant than regular watercolor. And, they feel more like playing with this while I'm working with, not necessarily like I'm doing a work of art. Not that I don't value making art, but sometimes I just like to let loose. And how we get those things to work is I have a variety of the water-filled brushes, those travel brushes that you play with, right? These things that I use whenever I'm working with them. I try to avoid utilizing like regular brushes for this, and the only reason why is not because I don't want those regular brushes to do what they do. It's more because I really just want some basic control and a basic bit of maneuvering over the colored markers. So we're using today our double-ended watercolor brush pens from Staedtler. Okay, I really like these. I know there's a lot of companies that make watercolor brush pens, and some that have they're probably a little bit better quality, etc. I'm sketching with these. I'm sketching, and I want to feel free that I can go ahead and do things and not worry about like, oh well, is that too much? Is that too little? I'm just gonna keep going here. I'm gonna start with some gray. And what I'm doing with the gray is we're going to kind of like work in the can here. I want to get the can done because I really want to kind of get a gist of what that tonality is going to look like before I start really working on the gravel. Let's throw that first layer down, shall we? I want my watercolor to be loose. I want to have some sort of fun that surrounds it. And I always like organic looking work. Yay! Okay. So we've got our first section down here, and that's kind of like this nice little blue tint. I'm kind of liking that. I live with that. The inside of the can with a little bit of darker gray. Add that shadow element in there. Put that underneath. I want to leave that one top edge like straight and not deteriorated by the water. I'm going to add some more layers to this later. For right now, it's looking pretty good. Oh, a little bit too much water. Might have to break out my favorite watercolor tool. I will. But we'll see. My favorite watercolor tool. The paper towel. I know, it sounds weird, but trust me, it works. Whenever I get sections that look like they're going a little overboard, paper towel kind of helps me to wrangle it in. And also there's some really nice detail stuff that happens with it. Speaking of detail stuff. I know, I'm not supposed to do detail stuff on that. When you're out here doing it, you can do that. That should have a pretty distinct like it is on the ends. Everybody's watching. If you are watching, I can't see who's watching unless you hit and throw a comment in. I'd love to know who's out there, where you're from. And right now we're on Haps, broadcasting to Twitch, to YouTube, and to Twitter. So if you can hear the sound of my voice, so if you are in an area where you are watching this and can put some comments down, I love to chat. In case you haven't noticed that I enjoy talking. Okay, it's about 8 o'clock. So far, so good. We make some way. Ruffles catch here. Alright, time to determine what color our ruffle is. As much as I like earth tones and things, sometimes I just want to throw some color in there. Something fun and oof. And purple. Ah! Oh, I have so many purples. Oh my gosh, I have like 6 purples. Yay! Lots of purples. Okay, enough from that particular person because he often scares me when he shows up. I'm going to start with lavender. I really like this at base because it's not terribly vibrant. It's still a little bit of it's a little lighter than the other things that we're working on. The other part I like about this versus doing this digitally, which I just released the two of them, and I love them. I think they're really cute. But this I really like because I can't go back, and those mistakes that I make are there. I'm not going anywhere. All right, we're gonna make the light coming from here. A goodly amount of purple. I always want the mouth here and like the fur to be something different. I don't like them to be the same color as the main portions of the character. So the fur is always a different color than this. This is like a holy mess. I love it. It's just one big holy mess of purple. I feel like a little kid again. I'm just gonna fill it in. I'm just gonna color it. Yeah, I was never that kid. I was the meticulous one that was trying to fit everything in perfectly. Yeah. Who am I kidding? And the reason why I do this with the watercolor markers and just kind of do this is because that's going to yield that nice organic piece that we were talking about before. I love seeing. Let's see, who do we get here? I think we're going to go with a large round. I think I need some more push than that. I have to go with this. Go with the square. This is fine. There we go. There you have it. There's that extra push up for. I like it because markers tend to also have a really nice like rate of dispersion, so they stay wet enough that I can do this, and I can still get that watercolor look that I love, where things happen that you don't expect, and you end up with these uncontrolled little pieces here and there. Sections that have me kind of go, oh, I have to let go, don't I? Yes, I do. Maybe I'll do it to some point. Especially as an artist, there's something you just gotta kind of like have to say, I can't avoid that, so we're just gonna work with it. It took me a long time to get there, though. Like 30 something years before I decided that I was going to actually not try to control everything on the canvas. And far from controlling everything anyway. So. Or so I would have you believe. I'm going to just take a little bit of the lavender that I already have on the brush and bring it over here. Good. We're making some good progress. Now, while I wait for that to dry, we're going to put some color to the can. Now, yellow is kind of the complementary color to this. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the cheek over here. Pardon me while I finish the cheek up. Thank you. So yellow is the color that is opposite this. So am I going to use a brand name or anything like that? Probably not. I'll probably do something bizarre, like canned lemons. Oh, lemon pie filling. There we go. It's not really bizarre. Can you tell where my mind is at? This still has a little lavender on it, which is fine. I want to kind of get those shadows in there too. And I'm going to incorporate a bunch of other colors. There's also a brush that I like lazily grabbed and used with my acrylics, which I probably not do. Okay, looks more like we're going for key line. It's fine. Not a biggie. I'm liking it. I really kind of get that key line vibe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this thing around. What? That's horrible. No, it's not. Fine. Give me a second. Wait. You'll like it. I promise. I'm talking to myself now. Where are all my peeps at? That's right, I don't have any. I shouldn't expect much. I'm right back streaming. I haven't been streaming in so long. Paper's buckling, but again, sketch on a sketchbook. Okay, so now I've got that little green tint down the bottom, and we can let those things dry. And yeah, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this, and you guys can just chill. If you got any comments, we'd love to hear from you. Right now I'm using indigo blue on the interior of the mouth. Black would be really too harsh, and I can always make something darker, but I can't make it lighter with watercolor very easily. So if I start us out with not quite black color, then for me, it gives me the ability to go ahead and add to it if I need to. I don't always need to. Oop, almost a disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bid you good night. We'll come back at some point and I will show you the finished couple. And we will go ahead and start another piece, another day. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is my second test of the day of the system to see if I'm still back on. So stay safe, stay healthy, and make art.